opinion, a research paper tells a story. Before writing a paper or even working on a problem, it can help if one visualizes the story. Some questions to ask are: what is the problem? Why must the world or community care about it? What is the aspect of the problem that makes it hard? What have others done to solve it, and why do those approaches not suffice? How are you going to solve this problem? If we do not have a good answer to any of these questions, we might have to even reformulate the question. While we may not always be in a position to do this, a great aim is to try and have a first draft of the paper ready a few weeks before the deadline, and then spend those weeks in writing and editing the paper. This can lead to a very well written paper. The first thing is to know your audience. What would they enjoy listening to? This might be actually quite different from what you want to speak about. The next step is to plan the duration of the talk. Ideally, one should not plan to speak for more than 75% of the allotted duration, keeping in mind that there might be many questions for the remainder 25%. You can always have a few backup slides in case someone is particularly interested in some details. In terms of making slides, a top down approach is quite useful. Start with a high level version of the entire talk with placeholder slides. It need not have many details, but a short summary of what you want to convey in each slide. Your entire audience may not follow 100% of your talk, but try to aim for at least 70% of your talk to be accessible to almost everyone in the audience. As a cryptographer who's also a professional violinist, managing time has been a very integral part of my life. Learning to manage time efficiently is a process that takes time. However, if one can get better at this, then the benefits are immense. Setting weekly and daily goals is a great way to ensure that we allocate time to work on things that are most important to us. Learning to read papers quickly, making talks faster, or writing a paper faster are skills that take time to develop, and one can consciously try and build these skills during graduate school. Try to see how long it takes for you to do these things as you progress through graduate school. With time, I'm sure you will see a significant improvement. In my opinion, absolutely. I think there are many reasons to do so. Firstly, it helps in diversifying one's research interests, skill sets, and definitely with building new connections. One also gets to mentor PhD students. I think it's a gentle way to get out of your comfort zone and try to become more independent. So, in my opinion, absolutely do a postdoc before you start a faculty or research lab position. At India, we run a research fellow program where undergraduate and master students come and spend about 1 to 2 years working with us on research problems, and therefore I get to mentor some of these students for a slightly longer duration. Most of these students do not have any background in cryptography, and so we spend the first few months getting them up to speed on the area, reading lecture notes, videos on the topics, plenty of which are available freely online. Next, we give them small research problems to tackle, sometimes even have them work with a senior student or a research fellow. Students can be much more comfortable asking their fellow students for help and questions, and this can lead to faster progress. We do meet every week to understand progress, where they might be stuck, and what tasks they can try and complete within the next week. As we start making progress, it is useful to plan around conference deadlines too, as it helps concretize goals. I will speak about industry as that is where I have worked for about 10 years now. I think an industrial lab is a great place to try out a research in a real world environment. One can understand gaps in existing research and also identify terrific new research problems and directions. It also provides one with an opportunity to work on various aspects of taking research to production. I think also the environment tends to encourage one to collaborate with members outside of your immediate research community, and this can have a very positive impact on research. While one might say that you do not need to write grants, one still needs to spend time articulating why your research is important to the company as well. And I think that's a good thing. One perhaps con I would say is that one does not have the opportunity to mentor students for an extended duration, and that's something that one might miss in an industrial research lab.